bad boy. Matthew, what were some of your highlights when it came to trick-or-treating?
Chips were out because they usually tasted pretty bad. They were old too. A lot of times they were chips from last year.
Yeah, they do often taste like stale chips. But you know what? When you're a kid and you have like, I don't know how Halloween worked for you, but for me it was like we'd get home from school for the next few days from Halloween, and we'd probably get like a little extra treat in our lunch every day for like a week after Halloween. But you get home and you just like try to stick as much stuff in your like sweater pockets before your mom says, "Okay, that's too much. It'll spoil your appetite." Then I go downstairs and like eat as much of this chocolate and candy as I can.
So this candy
before dinner.
This candy wasn't in your room? You didn't get to keep it?
No, it stayed in the pantry.
Oof.
We each had our own bag, and our bag stayed in the pantry. And you got to take from your bag. You know what? Even raisins. I was pretty down with the raisins, too.
Oh, God.
Glossettes, that's dope.
That's okay. Glossette raisins. You ever get just the sun-kissed raisins in a little box?
Yeah.
No way, man.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
With the little, like, there's a lady with a big hat.
Yeah. She always reminded me of my mom.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, what would happen is we would always empty out our candy on the table. And my parents would have to check it. They'd be like, we have to check it for poison. We have to check it for needles and razors and just anything that's already open. If you ever got peanuts, it's like, no, you can't have the peanuts because they're open, even though they're in a shell.
That's true.
But I didn't want the peanuts anyway. You take all the peanuts away you want.
I'm okay with peanuts. I mean, as a man, I like peanuts more than I did as a boy.
Yeah.
Because it was work and it wasn't that sweet. But now I appreciate the work and I appreciate the taste.
There you go. But
no.
I did not. Oh,
so later I'm going to tell you a little story about my dad and peanuts. I think you'll enjoy.
I want to hear it. I'm going to tell you the rest of this and then I'm ready for that story. So yeah, they would go through them all saying, we have to go through. We have to make sure you don't have any candy that's going to harm you, kill you, which scared me because I thought everybody out there, by the rate of which they were taking candy out of the good pile and putting into the poison pile, I'm thinking, man, like I live on the street with these people. I see these people every day. Most of my
neighbors
Some of them
are killers, yeah.
They're trying to kill me. There's razors in here. And I'm like, Daddy, is there... They'd take away candy I would really want. I remember at one point looking at this gummy candy, and I was like, I really hope that one doesn't have poison in it because I really want that one. That one looks so good. And then my dad would look at it and be like, no, poison in here. And then he would put it away. And he'd take it.
Wait, he's just holding it up to the light and going, yep, that one's poison.
I don't know. As I figured I would learn how to do it one day from my parents. They would show me how to test candy out.
So I think what the lesson is here, you do know now how to test candy. It's whatever damn candy you want to eat, and you don't care if your kid eats it. And so the ones you don't care about, your kid gets. The ones you want to eat, like this cool jelly, you put aside and call poison.
Yeah. Oh, and it was because I didn't know that. I thought they were throwing them all out but actually no, I knew they weren't because they would take a big pile, divide it up. Like they probably got 30% of my candy. It's a candy tax.
That's a hell of a tax.
Yeah. They took it, they put it into a bowl, and right away, even as a child, I'm like, why don't you just throw this in the garbage? It's poison. Bring it to the police instead. Maybe do that. Get
Smart
some of
kid.
my neighbors put in jail.
Yeah.
Trying to kill us all. No, they would just put it in a bowl, and they'd put it on top of the fridge or in a cupboard where I couldn't reach. And they'd say, we'll throw it out later. And I remember at one point I went up there a few weeks later, and I looked in the bowl, and it was almost gone. They'd been eating my candy the whole time.
Your poison candy.
Like I went out, I worked on this candy, I got it, and my prized jelly candy, the one I really wanted. It's probably like an oversized fuzzy peach or something at the time, but they just I don't know what was going through their minds, but I found out, and to this day I haven't forgotten. They could have just said, "Hey, can we have some of your Halloween candy?" I would have probably shared it. They didn't have to make me fear for my life, make me think there's needles and razors.
That's a good point. The only logic I can really put into it is that they lived on a street where they needed to get candy for the neighbor kids. So they were going to get back the money they spent on candy from you.
Yeah. Well, it backfired because the next year I was like, all my neighbors are giving me candy with needles and razors. I started putting in some little safety pins, little bits of razors, little sharp things. I started stuffing those into the candies that we were giving out to the kids.
What were you putting? What kind of candies were you putting them in?
Mars bars.
Oh man.
Jelly candies. I'd stick a nice sewing needle into that, and you can stick that in.
Oh yeah.
And you can't even tell
Very
if the
subtly.
package has been damaged. Halloween.
Scary time for all.
Yeah, died down a little after that. But that's what my neighbors deserved for trying to kill us all.
Yeah. So have you addressed your parents about this since?
No, not yet. I'm waiting. There's going to be a time.
When your mom listens to this podcast, she'll be like, oh boy, it's my fault.
Get ready, because I think I'm going to bring it up around Christmas.
So we'll get a little bit of follow-up on this one.
Yeah.
This reminds me of a sort of Halloween-themed play I went and saw a few years ago. Oh, quite a few years ago. Probably more than 10 years ago now. It was Mary Shelley's Victor Frankenstein. Very true to the novel. I took a date there. It seemed like a nice date type of thing. Let's go see a theater production. Sure, it's Frankenstein. We all kind of know Frankenstein, but whatever. We could go get a bite to eat after. Unbeknownst to me, Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster was going to be painted head to toe green. It's not the weird part, and nude almost the entire play. That was not what I was expecting to take a date to. I was like a little like, oh, that's a little weird, I guess.
How nude are we talking?
Well, just it was all completely.
Oh,
so it's just all of it.
It was all out there.
And I maybe a couple months later, thankfully I was still seeing the girl, and I was like, yeah, sorry about that, by the way. That was a weird first date to go see a Naked Frankenstein. She's like, yeah, actually, I didn't think about how naked he was until now that you mention it. But yeah, he was really naked the entire time. And I guess I was too uncomfortable to talk about Naked Frankenstein during dinner immediately after. I was like, let's just see if she forgets about Naked Frankenstein.
Maybe she didn't notice.
Oh, I doubt it.
Naked Frankenstein.
Yeah. That's it was weird because he was just swinging around everywhere for like half the play, and he was a very dramatic Frankenstein. How much of a wretch he was, and just agonizing and screaming as he came into this world. It was a sight to behold.
I think Naked Frankenstein would have been a better name for that play too. People would know what they were getting into.
People were like, oh, I see what's going on here.
It's almost as good as my idea,
which
I'm sure has been taken by now. Anne Frankenstein.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and it would pretty much just be Anne Frank.
Yeah, but also Frankenstein.
But she has been turned into Frankenstein's monster at this point, a version of it. Kind of like Frankenstein from like the old movies.
Sure.
Because at one point, Frankenstein's monster was just called Frankenstein. In the what were the Universal monsters?
The Universal monster films.
So this would be like that, only it would be Anne Frank as a stitched together person coming back to get revenge on the Nazis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
I mean,
but it would be a woman, so that would be it'd be different.
I'm okay. I'm a lot more okay with that than I thought I would be, despite the fact that Anne Frank is a real person. It seems a little weird to just like rewrite history and have her fight the Nazis. But
she was a real person. Abraham Lincoln was a real person, and now he's a vampire hunter.
Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter. All right, okay, I can get behind that. Yeah. At first, I thought it was going to be like, what if Anne Frank was Frankenstein's monster? I'm like, well, she would have been caught so much quicker.
Yeah, especially if it was the bumbling version that you were talking about.
I'm thinking of like the
it was like,
type of Frankenstein.
Quiet, Anne.
You know, and then
I know we just brought you into existence so you could be terrified and hunted down, but please.
Oh man. So Matthew, speaking of the poorly stitched together flesh of Frankenstein, what did you think of the ground together flesh of your burger?
It was good. It kind of felt like one of those patties that was pre-made and frozen.
Okay.
Definitely okay for a takeout deal, and the barbecue sauce, the chips, the mayonnaise. It was all real nice. That bun, too. You were slapping that bun.
I was slapping that bun.
It had a good sound. You said, what did you say about that bun?
I said it sounded like a prop burger.
Yeah.
I mean, the bun itself was so dense, I would say.
Yeah.
That like you could slap and it had a nice sound to it, which is a weird thing to say. We're this far in, we're 30-something episodes in, and we're slapping our burgers now just to check the density of the bun.
And we could do that because we were in our home, you know.
That's true. We can't just go slapping buns in a restaurant.
I may now. I may do it because I never knew what you could read from a burger just by a gentle slap.
I mean, usually if I'm in a restaurant and slapping buns, it's followed by a thanks toots. And not, actually a comment on the density of the hamburger bun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Well.
I got the double dime burger. A dense bun. I had not eaten anything today. That's all I've eaten today. And I'm completely satisfied. The patties were substantial. Not super juicy or flavorful, but they weren't bad. They weren't bad. The buns were, to me, despite that density, you saw that as like a major positive. I don't know. I felt like it was just heavy for the sake of heavy. I did pick up the burger, and that was the first thing I said. Oh, it's a heavy one. Yeah. The toppings, though, were all great. The bacon, the onions, the lettuce, the barbecue sauce. They added a garlic mayonnaise spread for us to spread on as we will. This is another home burger edition, like Matthew mentioned earlier. I didn't bother to go get a knife, so I just used my finger to spread it around on the bun. That was okay. That was fine. Curly fries. Matthew, you didn't speak about the fries at all, did you?
No.
I got curly fries. Matthew doesn't like curly fries. He's a no-frills type of fry guy. And I quite enjoyed my curly fries. Part of it is just the novelty of curly fries. I feel like you're getting a bigger piece of potato in your mouth each bite.
They didn't even look that curly, though, to me.
They were pretty curly.
All right.
Not all of them. I quite liked my curly fries. Matthew, what did you think of your fries?
I like my regular fries. They remind me of KFC fries.
Yeah.
They were kind of crispy on the outside, good on the inside. Who else had fries kind of like that? Someone else had fries. Burger King.
Burger King?
Yes. I do like those fries every now and then. This was pretty good, especially for a place that does takeout solely. Yeah. It was the burger, pretty much everything you said I agree with. It was a little dry. The barbecue sauce I normally don't like, but it added something to it this time. It kept it a little moist. The only problem I had, the main issue was the bun. Actually, the patty kept slipping out. I would take a bite and it would push out and start to fall
I was
down.
having a little slide out issue
with two patties.
With a double patty. That's usually more of a problem, but I think that they were sort of melted together, stuck together by the cheese.
Yeah.
That was melted between them. So it wasn't that bad. I sort of had to twist my burger around a little bit to eat it all while still having bun all the way through. But it wasn't too much of an issue for me.
Yeah.
Little notes while we're on the topic of burger. As far as I know, this place is only delivery. I don't think you can get it at home. They've got an app. As I mentioned earlier, you could get 10% off. You can order until 2 a.m. every night of the week, except Thursday through Saturday, all the way until 4 a.m.
Whoa.
They will deliver a burger, some wraps, wings, milkshakes to your door in our experience, about 40 minutes. That's pretty good. If you're going all the way till 4 in the morning, that's really good.
Is there a minimum order?
No, I didn't see anything like that.
So you're saying
at any point during our order process.
Saturday night, it's 3:45 in the morning, and I feel like a milkshake. They're going to bring me a milkshake?
I would be sure to call at that point to be like, will you? They might just say, no, we decline that order.
Because it's just a milkshake?
Yeah.
Or because it's so close to 4, because then I can just try at 2 in the morning.
Well, yeah, they might do both. I wouldn't be surprised if you just want to get a milkshake. Also, they've got like a excuse me. Also, they've got like a 8 milkshake deal right now. If you get 8 milkshakes, I don't know what situation you'd be in where you're like, yeah, give me 8 milkshakes.
Wait, it's an 8 milkshake deal?
Yeah.
Like try all 8 of our milkshakes?
I think you get 8 milkshakes for the price of 6.
That sounds crazy.
But you get 4 and 4. You get 4 Oreo milkshakes and 4 cookie dough milkshakes.
So you can't even try all of the milkshakes?
No, you only get to try 2, or 4 people can try 2.
That's a lot of milkshakes. I'm sure if I ordered 8 milkshakes at 3:45 in the morning, they might...
They might be like, who are you? Is this a joke?
Yeah. It's like, it's part of the deal. I'm one guy, but I'm going to put him in the freezer. I'm going to have a milkshake every day of the week.
Whenever I want.
2 on Sunday.
And it's a